Hey guys, my name is Bailey. I just wanted to make a quick little introduction video to say hey, to let you know what my channel is going to be about, and then hopefully down below in the comments you can tell me a little bit more about what you want to learn about, what you're interested in watching. And I just wanted to do a quick little introduction video, my very first video ever. So I go by, my name is Bailey, I go by Bakley on Instagram, on Poshmark, and now on YouTube. It's got a funny story behind it. About a decade ago, I was a Nordstrom floor manager. So I had my own department, and Words with Friends was like very hip, very, very big. And my girls were always saying, Bailey, you gotta play with us, you gotta play with us. And so I downloaded the app. It was, make a username. Obviously 10 years ago, we weren't all tech savvy like we are now. And so I typed in my name, Bailey, and I was like, perfect, good to go. Didn't really realize that you could be matched up to play with people who weren't, that you didn't know. So somebody asked to play with me. I thought it was one of my girls. So we've been playing for a couple of days, back and forth games. Coming to work, they're like, Bailey, you still haven't downloaded it, what's going on? And I was like, yeah, you guys, I definitely did. I was like, my name was available and everything. So we go on the app and we look, and basically what I had done with my fat fingers is I had put a K. So it was B-A-I-K-L-E-Y. And they thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And from that day forward, they all called me Bakley. And so it just kind of stuck. And so when Instagram, like I didn't even want an Instagram all those years ago. When Instagram making one of those, I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? It was Bakley, and it's just kind of stuck ever since. And so meeting a lot of you guys out in the world, you call me Bakley, and that's totally fine, because you know what? I have 1.5 million nicknames. My mom calls me Potato, my childhood best friend calls me Bagel, like I went by Evie all throughout high school. No one really knows what my name is, and that's okay, because I will answer to pretty much anything at this point. I also have a blog, bakley.com. Again, same spelling, it's everywhere. And it's a lot of like lifestyle. I talk about a little bit about reselling. So reselling, if you're not familiar with it, is either selling your own clothes that you've already worn, or going out and buying clothes from like a thrift store or from like a Nordstrom rack to resell them for profit. So I've been doing that. I told you guys I was at Nordstrom. I also worked at Anthropologie, and those will add up. You will get so many clothes because it's, you're constantly surrounded by it. You get a discount, like you can never say no. And so I just amassed so many clothes. The very first site that I sold on was a site called Threadflip. No one really knows what Threadflip was or is now, but I sold on there for a couple of years before they shut their platform down. They sold it to one of those subscription services. I don't know if they sold all of our details, like what that transaction looks like, but that went away. I kind of stopped reselling. I was selling in the meantime on Tradesy, maybe like one or two every now and again. And friends had always been like, you gotta get on Poshmark, you gotta get on Poshmark. So I made myself a Poshmark in January of 2016, and I was like so overwhelmed because I'm used to those other platforms where it was like, they call it list it and forget it. Where you put an item up and you're done. Like, okay, here you go. And if it sells, it sells. And if it doesn't, it sits there. And one day maybe somebody will buy it. There isn't like the activity going on with Poshmark. And so I downloaded the app and I hated it. I was like, I have no idea what's going on. There's too much happening. No, I'm done. And so I kind of forgot about it until about a year ago. I made my very first sale in March of 2018. It was like an Anthropologie bangle, and it's like you just get hooked. So I made my first sale in March, and then I kind of started getting more active, like actually listing things. But I had actually never been to a thrift store before, probably like September or October of 2018. It wasn't that I had anything against it. It was just like I had so many clothes from Nordstrom and from Anthro, and working there for years and years and years. I mean, I worked retail for almost a decade. Like, imagine how many clothes you would amass. And so I was always just selling my own stuff that I had bought, like with my discount, or that, like it was just so much, so I never had to think about, oh, like let me go out and like purchase more inventory. And the first time I went to a thrift store, I was like, oh my God, do people know about these? Because it was crazy. Like the amount of, I found like Anthro, I found Banana, I found like all these amazing brands. When I first started thrifting, I really didn't know what I was doing. I just kind of got stuck into the labels. I was like going through a breakup at the time, so I was just spending all kinds of time. Literally, I think I picked up like 350 items in a couple of months, and I'm like still trying to sell through those because I really didn't know what I was doing. So hopefully with my channel, I'll be able to kind of guide you guys, tell you about my mistakes. I'll show you some of the things that I bought, probably like on my first thrift trip that I'm still sitting on, that haven't sold. So hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes. I obviously have now when I go thrifting. I haven't been in a while because I've been moving. I'll tell you guys about that in another video, but I'm a professional mover at this point basically. So if you ever need help moving, call me up, I'll help you. I will Marie Kondo the crap out of your house and your closet, your wardrobe. Love to do it, which kind of ties into one of my other passion projects is interior design. I love interiors. I love coming home to like a really solid space, and I think that's something that is super important for your own mental well-being and health, and like feeling safe and secure and having a place that you feel completely connected to and at home with. So in one of my other videos, I'll kind of talk about, I'll do an apartment tour, and I'll kind of talk about, you know, my whole philosophy of design, and then hopefully kind of crowdsource some questions from you guys. If you have questions about like what to do in your own space, kind of finding inspiration, love a good gallery wall. I know I talked about gallery walls on my Instagram a while ago and got a couple of gals who were like, I'm gonna do a gallery wall now. So I think that kind of wraps it up. Moving forward, I'll just kind of talk about things that I'm passionate about, and then whatever you guys want to hear about. I love to blather on, I love to chat, so it's a perfect platform for me to just kind of sit and chat and talk with you guys about what you're interested in, and help you learn and grow, whether it's in your reselling business, whether you're trying to design a space that feels warm and welcoming and like you. I'll talk about how to style some things that I have thrifted before. I think secondhand fashion is such a power pusher now, just with where we are in the world, you know. There's so much out there. There's so many great styles that you can rock and wear that you don't have to pay hundreds of dollars. I'll tell you guys in some of the videos what I've paid thrifting and what I've been able to sell things for in the past to get you a better idea of, you know, what money you can be making, what money you don't need to be spending, and we'll kind of go from there. And I'm just super, super excited about it. Feel free, please subscribe if you are interested, and that way you'll be alerted the next time I launch a video. I can't wait to get to know you guys. I'll talk to you soon.